This video details my first aid kit that I've built for my 72-hour bag. Now, this kit should cover all the bases that I have, from trauma to general first aid to even dental needs. So before we jump into the bag itself, I wanted to walk through my approach to building out this important component of my system. A good first aid kit is key to any bug-out bag, so I spent a lot of time considering pre-made options as well as homemade kits. Now, I ended up using the AMK Ultralight 0.9 kit as the base, and then I supplemented with additional items. Normally when I'm hiking and camping, my kit is much smaller and primarily geared for me, though in a bug-out scenario, I'll likely be with my family, and while they have their own individual kits, I wanted to make sure that I had additional supplies to support injuries and needs from them. So that's why this is much bigger. I've also added in a dental care kit. I think a lot of kits out there online and in the stores miss not including these supplies to support important dental needs. So that was one of the major considerations I took in building this. Finally, your kit is only as good as your training, especially when you get into more trauma type situations. So I'm always looking for classes and tutorials on first aid. I'm trained to a point, but I want to continue with that. In fact, if I can work it into my schedule, I'm considering an EMT course at some point. You can never be too prepared when it comes to first aid. So let's jump into the bag and the contents themselves. So in terms of the bag, I'm using a heavy-duty large Husky bag. You can find these at Home Depot. It's the perfect size for all my contents. It's probably bigger than normal pouches in my bag, but because of the needs I have for first aid, I went with this bag. I also tagged the bag and painted an orange cross on it just to make sure it was easy to find in my pack. Now, in terms of contents, as I said before, I started with the Adventure Medical Kit's Ultralight 0.9 First Aid Kit as the base. You can find these mostly online in good sporting goods stores or at REI, for example. And in my view, they're the best pre-made kits out there. But I didn't stop with that kit alone. As you can see, I supplemented it with things like a dental kit that we'll look at a bit more closely, some wipes and bandages, and a good resource book. And I also have a SAM splint and an Israeli bandage that's not pictured with this kit. Unfortunately, neither of those would fit in the pouch with all the other supplies. It's important to know what's in your kit, and even more important to know what isn't in your kit. So you need to think through all the things that could go wrong and determine how you might address them with the supplies that you have. Hopefully then, through that process, you'll realize that you need to enhance your kit. You'll probably need to add more gauze. This is what I did. So I added more gauze, I added clotting product, items that would provide support beyond simple cuts or aches and pains. Think punctures and trauma or fractures and sprains. How will you address those? And make sure you have the right supplies and the right training to handle that. So again, started with that base kit and then continued to add to that. So here's a big shout out to USN ER Doc for his videos. He's a great resource on first aid and ham radio. So I really encourage you to go out on YouTube and check him out and his videos. In fact, he inspired this dental kit. So, most kits out there, first aid kits, they fail to include some form of dental care supplies. And I think that's a big red flag. I never really considered that. But after watching his video on his kit, it really made me realize that I need to add that into mine. So you could easily become slowed down or even incapacitated due to dental issues. Now, this kit obviously isn't going to solve the problems, but rather provide interim comfort and general care until I can find professional help. But I do think it's a crucial addition to anyone's Bob first aid kit. So that's it for my bug out bag first aid kit. As usual, I want to make this the best it can be while keeping size and weight into consideration. So if you have a suggestion or questions, please post those below. Again, thanks for watching, gang, and remember, be prepared.